Hello, hello, hello. It's Adrian. I'm just coming to show off my new hair. Plus, you know, it's time for me I have to make a video actually, to be honest with you. It's that time, and I'm going to do that. I think I'm gonna make a live on YouTube today, and tomorrow we've got our live readings that are going to happen in the group at Astrology. A look inside Facebook groups. Everyone's invited. I invite you all to come and get your free reading if you haven't had one. Wow. What I am suggesting people do is get their birth data up there now before tomorrow, and that way I have access to it. And if I don't already have your chart in my system, I can actually get it in there before I do the readings. I already know I've got at least 4 that I need to do, maybe 5, possibly 6. So you might want to get on the list. It's been a few. I was sick, so I missed all of last week, and so this Saturday will be my first Saturday in 2 Saturdays that I've done the live free mini readings, and I'm going to start putting it out there that I do them, so you guys make sure you get in there early, and so I know who you are. And if I've done you before, you don't have to put your birth date again. But if I haven't done you before, make sure you put your date of birth, place of birth, and time of birth, so I know I can pull up your chart and maybe even have it prepared before the show. Okay. So that's for that. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, and I might as well do it because I started, and I might do another one with the live. I just want to go over, I've done it already several times, but I'm going to do it again. And what I mean by that is I'm going to quickly go over what this next full moon, this strawberry moon, is going to do in the lives, or maybe do, in the lives of many people. And so I'm going to go through the signs one more time to see if I get any more messages. And I'll post this. Today is the 14th. It's already the almost the 15th, and like overseas. So, okay. So let me go ahead and I'll go ahead and start with this. Okay. So I'm going to start with Aries. Okay. Aries. This full moon is going to be happening in your 9th house. As I've stated in my last video, this is your God house. But this can also be the house that deals with in-laws. It can have a house that can deal with things like divorce, because it's the law. Okay, so it's things that have to do with the law. It can be things that have to do with travel, as well. It's also travel. It could have something to do with education, like higher education, such as dealings with universities and colleges and things of that nature. It can have something to do with religion, things like your church or your clergy or anything that has to do with religion. It could do with things that have to do with spirituality. And we're talking all forms of spirituality. This could, this is why we call it the God house. But it also means things like your dogma and your philosophy and your basic belief system. So all of that is indicated here. It can actually be things that have to do with the actual law, like legalities, dealing with issues that might have to do with the court system, like if you have to go to court or you have to serve on jury duty. I find that the 9th house is also involved in that. So all of these things are going to be affected when the full moon, this strawberry moon, or this full Sagittarius full moon, is in your 9th house. And, looking your actual chart, Aries, to see where Sagittarius actually falls in your chart. And then you might be able to use a combination of that house and this 9th house, which I think is going to be affecting all of the Aries. So good luck with that. I would be cautious of communications too. Just make sure your communications are on the up and up with everyone, and that you're not just trying to force your way of thinking, your opinion, your dogma onto other people. And that could be that day. So just be aware of it. All right. Good luck on the 17th. Good luck, Aries. I know. Next is Taurus. Taurus. So Taurus, this is happening in your 8th house. It's funny, the 8th house is the house of sex, death, taxes, insurance policies. It actually can be like going to the therapist or psychiatry. That's indicated there. Regeneration and I'm just thinking about maybe even a rejuvenation of your money, like your finances. It could be your partner who gets a rejuvenation of their finances that day, but it's happening in that 8th house. And so that full moon is going to be affecting some deep psychological things within you, maybe between you and your partner. That could happen. Some deep psychological conversations perhaps might arise. It could be conversations or things that have to do with money and finances, particularly how your partner or other people may be affecting your finances, or maybe perhaps money that comes in or is expected to come in from other people that will affect you and your money. I mean, it could just be straight up sex. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would be cautious of, anything that could lead to, sudden, problems. Don't do anything crazy like try to go bungee jumping or, windsurfing or something that day. I would probably not do that full moon in Sagittarius in the 8th house. Okay, Taurus. Well, happy sex day. I mean, that's all I keep thinking is sex. I don't, it may not be. It may actually be money. I mean, usually I find this house deals more with money and also deep conversations a lot of time. Usually deep conversations with the partner or the significant other. Or maybe you might get into the psyche of your significant other or your partner or their mindset. Something like that. Anyway, Taurus, good luck to you with that full moon in Sagittarius. And next, I have Gemini. Gemini! Well, you're someone I really wanted to talk to about this because, well, we had the new moon in Gemini in the beginning of the month on the 3rd. And now we've got this full moon in Sagittarius opposing that. Now, this is all happening in your house of partners. This is all where your partnerships are. It could be your actual partner, like your marriage partner, your significant other, the person that you spend most time with. It could just be dealing or talking about you and other people in general, because this all has to do with you and other people in some way. And don't forget, Jupiter is retrograding in Sagittarius simultaneously. And so this full moon in Saggy may affect your relationships in some way, Gemini. It may, just be something that you talk about or something that you hear, or, just maybe something to do with the way your partner is thinking. And hopefully you'll be able to communicate with each other and work things out, Gemini, that day. Okay? All right. And if you don't have a significant other, it could be that you could get a significant other that day. And don't forget that the 7th house is also the house of partnerships, like business partnerships. And it's also the house of enemies. And so be aware that this could be an enemy of some kind and not so much a partner. Okay? Okay. Next, we have Cancer! Cancer! Hello, Cancer. I love Cancers. Cancers are some of my favorite people. Okay, Cancers, this is all happening in your house of work. Your work house is being affected. The full moon is there. Jupiter's going retrograde there. You might be going over some work that you thought was completed, but now you have to go back over it and complete it. Or you might just be completing up work that was started and needs to be finished now. Also, I would just be extra cautious about your health that day, because the full moon's going to be in your 6th house. That's the house of health. I would eat well, drink well, just take care of myself, and even work out. I mean, if you feel like you want to work out, or you might find that you have a lot of work that day. Like, when the moon is full in the 6th house, I'm just thinking, wow, you could be extra busy. You might be doing extra double time, triple time, overworking, or maybe you might get a lot of work that day, perhaps out of the blue, but it is a full moon in that house. So it could affect your health, it could affect you mentally and your health, or it could affect your work, and it could affect your work in a big way. So please be aware of that, Cancer, and I hope it bodes well that it's more good work, lots of work, instead of, lots of health issues. All right. Next we have Leo. Hello, Leo. So Leo, this is all going to be affecting your 5th house of love and romance. Love and romance. And the funny thing is, the 5th house is love and romance, but the 5th house is also like children. It could be like your children. It could be creative endeavors that you're involved in. It could be like your self-employment, if you have any self-employment endeavors that you're involved in. It could be that. It could be like taking a chance on things. It could be literally taking a chance, like playing the lotto, scratchies. Oh my gosh, I just realized I have a scratchy in my pocketbook. I'm gonna go do that. But anyway, playing the lotto, doing scratchies, going to the casino. I always say this is a good day to play at the races or go to the casino. Again, I keep thinking children, things that, if you want to do something with an entrepreneurial venture, anything that has to do with entrepreneurs is there. Anything that has to do with gambling of all kinds. That's gambling, dating, gambling in, in work, gambling in love, gambling with children, gambling with your creativity in general. All of that is ruled there. It is your house, Leo. It is your house. This is going, I think, to be a very great day for Leos. The 17th, mark it, check it, prepare for it. It's yours, Leo. Take it, run with it, and make the best of it. Good luck, my Leo shiny friend. Next, we have the sign of Virgo. Virgo! I love Virgos. My daughter is a Virgo. And look where that full moon is happening, in the mother house. Isn't that funny that I mentioned my daughter? Virgos, if you got a mama, reach out to your mama. I'll always love my mama. She's my baby girl. Only get one, you only get one, yeah. I'll always love my mama. Reach out to your mama. Mama's thinking about you, or you're talking about mama. It has something to do with your home. Now, I can tell you, it may come off in a different way, because I know for a fact that my daughter is traveling out that day, going, traveling from Seattle to California. And so it could affect that. It's, because Jupiter is retrograde, right? And this is full moons all over it. So I'm thinking it's opposing the 10th house in some way. I don't know how that's all working out, or the full moon is opposing the 10th house or the home. So the full moon's in a home. I guess maybe you're emotional about having to leave home, or, and go out, maybe, perhaps, that day. Or leave your home base and go off, into the world and what you have to do. I also think when there's the full moon at the late degrees of Sag like this, I also think it's like, you know, in your case, it's the fourth house. And so it's kind of trekking its way from down low in the horizon. And, you know, in that first quadrant, it's about to move into the second quadrant, going into the fifth house after this. And so I look at it as like, okay, keep luck, you know, keep hope alive. It's Sag. Stay positive, stay hopeful, stay, you know, the good is coming. You know, it's happening in the fourth house, but soon it's going to be in the fifth house. I mean, you're on the rise. It's on its way up, I think. And also, like I said, when it's in the fourth, it's making oppositions to the 10th. There's going to be career issues, I think, versus home issues. You know, being home with mom versus being out in my career. I hope I'm going to be okay on the 17th. Why? I keep thinking of this mama. Lord, I hope mama's going to be okay. Maybe mama's going to be lucky. Jupiter is there, and Sag is naturally lucky. It may have to do with causes. Be careful about getting into any kind of disagreements, arguments, or philosophical debates, you know, dogmatic debates with women of all kinds. The moon always rules women, and also, you know, magic and trickery, but women and emotions. So watch your emotions, okay, with all women, especially when it deals with dogma, philosophical belief systems, and things like that. God, house, legalities, things like that. Let's hope mama's going to be okay that day. God bless. Whew. Good luck, Libra. Virgo. Next, I have the sign of Libra. Libra. Okay, I hadn't hit a high note for a minute. I had to do it. Okay, look. Libra, this is all occurring in your third house of communication. I think it's going to be good communication. I think it's all positive. I'm going to tell you why I thought that immediately. First of all, Sagittarius is sextile Libra. It's good. It's all good. Second of all, you know, the third house is the natural house of Gemini. It's good. It's all good. That's trine Libra. But, you know, it's funny because Sagittarius is not at home in the third house. It's opposite where it normally is. I mean, Sagittarius belongs in the ninth house, opposing the third house. But I think what it's going to do is give your communications that air of like a larger than life quality. Because usually, you know, Saggy is a big thinker. So you might have some really big thinking that day. You might be thinking of really great ideas, having really big conversations, communicating in a really big way, hopefully in a very positive way, about the things you believe in, the things that you hold dear, your philosophy, your way of life, your way of communicating, your way of seeing the world. You're going to be able to communicate that with everyone, especially with family members and people that are close to you, like, you know, those you work with, or perhaps like neighbors and people that are close to you in that way. It could be aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, you know, sisters, brothers, that kind of thing, extended family. But and also I would say always when the moon is full in the third house to be careful, check your car, you know, be careful about communication, like local travel, buses, cabs, trains, cars. Check them, watch them, you know, protect them. It should be good though. I mean, would I buy a car this day? I don't know. Not with Jupiter retrograding in Sag. No, not in your third house. Not that day. But I'm not saying it's bad. I would definitely communicate in a big way. I would, my Libra friend. I think it's going to lead to something great for you. So communicate, 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 communicate. In a very positive way, though, okay? All right. Much love and light, Libra. Next is the sign of Scorpio. 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 Money. That's all I got to say. Money. 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 Yeah, that's what you got coming. Money. I just hope it's not you getting upset about your money, you know, because the full moon, again, I'm saying it's emotions. It could be you getting upset about the money. Something happened with the money, Lord. What's going on with the money? Let's hope it's good, and I think it will be because we're talking Saggy. Saggy is positive. I always look at Saggy as a positive sign. It's a fire sign. It's a mutable sign, but it is a wise sign. It's an intelligent sign. It's a philosophical sign. It's thinking wisely, I think, about your money. Looking at your money perhaps in a very philosophical way, in a very positive way. You might have felt like you've had a little bit of setbacks with your money lately, with Jupiter retrograding in the second house. But I want you to understand that, first of all, that's a temporary transit, which is about to go direct soon. And second, that, this full moon, I think, is a positive thing. So I hope you take advantage of it. And that, I would definitely keep an eye on my belongings that day, though, because the moon is full. So I would make sure that, the car is locked, the wallet is in my pocket, or, my cell phone hasn't been stolen. I've got my eyes on everything that day that you hold dear. And I think you'll be fine. Yeah, definitely. Okay? All right. Scorpio. I do think you're going to be fine with that full moon. There's other things going on with Scorpio. I was just looking at that Chiron in the 6th house for Scorpio. What's going on in your work life, Lord Scorpio? And let's hope whatever's going on in your work life is not going to affect your money. Ugh. Yeah, let's hope not. I think you're going to be fine. You know why? Because Sag and Aries are trying. They are they're compatible. And so your money and your work are working together, I believe. I think when Chiron goes anywhere, it is a wounded spot that needs to be healed. Hopefully this full moon and this Jupiter going backwards over in the money house is making you to see wherever the wounds were. Maybe you corrected them, something to do with your work life. I hope you did. I really do. And I think you're going to have a whole new philosophy about money coming soon. Good luck with that, Scorpio. Okay. Next, we have the sign of Sagittarius. I got to do it, y'all. Sagittarius. 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 Okay, you guys, I swear, every time I see Sagittarius, I'm going to do that now. It works so perfectly, doesn't it? Now you know you have a theme song. That's the Sagittarius song. I created that myself. That's the Sagittarius song. Okay, look, Saggy, you know what's happening in your first house. You know it's all about you, right? Right? You do know it's all about you, right? I hope that when the moon is full, oh gosh, why I keep, the tide is hiding, moving on. I gotta be your number one, number one, number one. Tide is high. And you know what? You better be the number one, because it's all about you, Miss Full Moon, Mr. Full Moon. Jupiter in your first house, retrograding in it, just making sure that it goes back to grab all those lucky golden coins that you might have dropped along the way when you didn't have your eye focused on the prize, but now you got your eye focused on the prize because you're going to win and you like winning. You were born to win, and this is your time to win. Win, Sagittarius, win. And what are you trying to win? Most likely a partner, maybe a Gemini, I don't know. But if you are, I think you'll win. Because, especially if you're a woman, the moon always indicates what a man is looking for in a woman. And if it's in full in Saggy, he's looking for you. I think that's going to be a great day for you to go and maybe find whatever it is you need to find. It's going to be good for a lot of things that day. Look at the 17th as your lucky day and just be good, happy, cheerful, optimistic, and you're going to bring all those good, positive, optimistic, cheerful things into your life. Okay? And I also think it's just a good culmination for something good. Hopefully that's coming your way, Saggy. Good luck, Sagittarius. Next, we have Capricorn. Capricorn, my Capricorn queens, my Capricorn divas. Yes, we are. Okay, listen. Caps. I don't even know what to say to y'all. Or me. I said me. I don't even know what to say to me. Look, it's happening in our 12th house. We know it. We feel it. It's happening. It's going down. We're looking at some deep, hidden-ish. Possibly while smoking kush. I'm just saying. It's that kind of month. The full moon is happening in the 12th house. That's the 12th house of self-undoing. That's the 12th house of smoking some kush. That's the 12th house of having that second glass of wine, that second bottle of beer, that go ahead, second, third, fourth cocktail. That's taking too many pills. That's sleeping too much. I know y'all are sleeping more than you've been sleeping, because I am. And if you ain't, then you don't have Capricorn anywhere near this 12th house then. You know, you don't have it Capricorn rising, because I'm a Capricorn with Capricorn rising. And I woke up at 12 o'clock, and I only woke up at 12 o'clock because my daughter called me. And I didn't go to bed till 6 o'clock, and I only went, or 5, and I only went to bed at 5 because, well, I was tired, finally. See, and that's the kind of weirdness that we have. I think I got in 7 hours, like 5 to 7 or 12. But look how odd those hours are. We're off kilter. We're sleeping a lot. We're getting dreams out of nowhere, nebulous thoughts and ideas and things that are coming out of the blue. I believe that we are also at this time the power behind the throne to a lot of things. We have power and things growing and doing in the undercurrent, underneath, behind the scenes that no one knows. There may be undercurrent behind the scenes activities happening around you that you don't know. So that's also a possibility. I wouldn't do anything underhanded or, anything bad. Cap, you don't want to bring in any bad karma right now. But if you're feeling extra sleepy, if you're feeling extra tired, if you're feeling like, where's my luck? If you're feeling like, you've been waiting for your ship to come in, your pot to roll in, and it's not here yet, all of that, that's normal. I mean, we've got Jupiter retrograding in the 12th house, and now we've got this full moon sitting there, and it is there, okay? So that's the 17th. We've got a few days. We're probably already starting to feel that overall, since Jupiter is in that 12th house, we've been kind of feeling that for the last few months, haven't we, Caps? So what's going to happen is this full moon is going to come, and it's going to finally illuminate all those 12th house things that we've been going through. If I were you, Cappy, I would take, and I am me, okay, so I can tell you what I've been doing. But I started a podcast, like I just come out every day, and I'm just gushing out all of the garbage, all of the 12th house crap that is buried so deep inside my soul, and that I really feel like it's hidden, it's buried stuff. I wouldn't even know where to dump all this stuff if I didn't have a podcast or something. And so I would look at ways of getting out the hidden garbage. If you can. Find ways of doing that. I think Jupiter in the 12th house is really great for doing that. It's like, a house of healing, like a hidden meditation. Like I'm thinking you can heal yourself or meditate. Go alone, be the hermit for a moment and take care of your inner self. If there's a pain that's deep inside, take care of that inner pain, that inner self. It's not what everyone else can see, right? But it's what you can feel. You can feel it from deep within inside your spirit, within inside your soul, your being. That there's something there. You're developing like this new belief system too, I think. That it's something that's bubbling up deep within, but it's in there. So this full moon is illuminating that. It's something that this belief system you've been working on ever since Jupiter has been in Saggy. But we're coming to, I think, a final, belief system after this full moon on the 17th. We're arriving at it, whatever it is. Now, Sag is normally lucky, but in the 12th house, and when it dealing with things like dogma and belief systems and philosophy and God house, and it being the 12th house, I think we're doing a lot of deep, subjective, introspective thinking and, processing, because we're creating a new philosophy about life in general. We will not be the same after this Jupiter goes out of Sag into our first house. We're preparing for our time to shine, and for our luck, and for our new philosophy to become, it becomes us. What those deep inner things that we're thinking and doing in private becomes the us that is us after Jupiter goes from Saggy into Capricorn. So I think this full moon is illuminating that right now. This coming up in just a few days. Whatever that philosophy is you've been working on, whatever that deeply hidden thing is, it's all being illuminated emotionally. Okay? So just know, there could be some deep psychological things happening that day. Don't forget. 12th house is deep psychological things. Don't think it's not. Skeletons in the closet things. Okay? It is the house of self-undoing as well. We've been facing a lot of skeletons in our closets. Caps. Haven't we? I have. I mean, okay, I'm going to say this one thing and then I'll get off a cap because everyone else is like, where's mine? Okay, look. One of the things I can tell you that I just came to this just like yesterday or day before. After doing my podcast, because with podcasts, you can't see you. You can only hear you. And after doing my podcast, I realized that I have a tendency, and I knew about this because someone told me years ago as a disc jockey, that I have a tendency that I'm up. Usually I am. You can hear it in my voice. But then I have this time when I might get really low, deep, introspective, melancholy, dark, just heavy. I mean, I've got Saturn in the first house by birth, so I could see that. Well, this, I think, is part of that. Like, Jupiter is naturally very upbeat, very happy, very all of that. But right now, it's for us, it's in the 12th house, and Jupiter itself is in the 12th house. And so we have to figure out how to find that inner joy from within. We may not even have been realize that we were exuding that inner joy from within. But, with Saturn and Pluto transiting the first house for Capricorns, exuding that inner joy is hard, especially when it's the 12th house of self-undoing. And so this is the lesson that we are learning this year, how to find our inner peace, our inner joy, our inner sanctuary, our inner sanctum, regardless of what's going on around us and to us and outside of us. See? And that is our lesson. I mean, with Saturn and Pluto in the first house, this is really our lesson. But with Jupiter retrograding in the 12th, it went back over it to make sure we got this lesson. We have got to be so freaking strong and ready and prepared to compete, compete in the world at large with Jupiter in this house. It's teaching us to find that inner peace, that inner sanctum, that inner whatever you have to find in order to compete in this world, to face our fears head on with a positive mindset and hopefully with a philosophy that will help get you through the darkest of times. Now, I've been doing certain things, and like I said, I'm going to get off of this because I might be going into more of the Aquarius part of myself and Pisces part of myself. But I've been doing things like following like Sadhguru, who's a guru out of India. I've been doing things like learning about things like Kundalini awakenings, stuff like that. But, you know, this is the stuff that you need to look at, Capricorn. Our awakening is now. We are awakening now. Jupiter is about to come into Capricorn soon. We've got less than 6 months to prepare for our time to shine in the sun. So as we hide away as the power behind the throne in preparation for the time that Jupiter goes direct and then goes forward this one last time toward our home of Capricorn. And this moon is highlighting that inner strength that Jupiter has given us up to now. And the inner strength that I think we Caps have to develop in that inner area of like our private source of strength. We have to find that now. Our 12th house can be our private source of strength. And I think with Jupiter there and Sag there, that's where our luck is, right? So that's where we need to find our private source of strength through things like meditation. And in my case, I've actually had hypnosis and binaural beats and all types of awakenings and getting in and aligning your chakras and listening to good positive music and good books and all of those things. Knowledge is key. Sagittarius is always about knowledge, inner knowledge, learning in private. Moon full in Sag, learning in private, being the wise sage in private, being the scholar, the philosopher, the professor in private. Jupiter, Sag in the 12th house. We got this, Cap. We've got to learn the lessons we got to learn so we can prepare for our full front assault on the world when Jupiter gets in our first house, and it is coming. Let's prepare for our time. All right, Cappy. I had to share that message with you. Much love and light. Next we have Aquarius. Aquarius. I keep doing that with you guys too. I'm going to find something else to sing with Aquarius. I got Aquarius in my first house, and I know I want something. Maybe I'll do something like Electric Avenue. I don't know. Aquarius, you know what? I love this full moon for you. I do. I tell you why. Well, first of all, it's happening in the 11th house. The 11th house is the house of Aquarius. It's happening in your own house, Aquarius. You're going to feel probably this urge toward being a part of other things, organizations, groups, philosophies, maybe teaching. I just think in groups overall, but you know, even like say on like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Snapchat, Instagram, even going out like to outing like a club, a bar, just where people are. Where people are is where this full moon is, and there's a sense of luck there because it is Sagittarius and Jupiter is in Sagittarius, and it's the natural ruler of Jupiter, and it's all in your 11th house this year. So your friendships, the groups, organizations, and clubs and things that you belong to, they are all lucky for you all year, but especially now when the moon is full in this 11th house, which is the natural house of Aquarius, and it's the natural house of hopes, dreams, wishes, and dreams and things like that, like the things, your aspirations that you want to go for, and what you're hoping and dreaming and wishing for, and also how you get that through like groups and organizations that you belong to. And so Aquarius, look around you. What groups and associations are you do you belong to? What's going on with you and your friends? Have you been reaching out with your friends? Are you making new friends? You might find that on the 17th, something that has to do with groups and associations might become a major focal point in your life that day. And also friendships may become a major focal point for you that day. With Jupiter retrograding, I'm just going to say, be cautious, of course, of your dogma, your speech, and your belief systems. I mean, don't come off like, if you're in a group or something, like, I'm right, I'm always right, I'm the final say, I have the education, I have the knowledge, and I read it back in a book in 2017, so I know I'm right. And, don't come off like that. Whatever you do, avoid that need to be right, especially if you're out in public in a group or association or with other people, and you're trying to make this point, which might come off horribly wrong with Jupiter retrograding in Sag right now. Okay, so just be aware of that, and you don't have to be right? You can just state your point. You don't have to be right. Sometimes I think, especially when it comes to Sag just wants to get it off their chest. They just want to say it. A lot of people say, no, Sag wants to be right. Yeah, well, they believe they're right, and they always have their own philosophy and dogma about what is right. But I think a lot of times they just want to say it. They just want to get it off their chest. They want to come and give you their opinion about XYZ because of something they didn't learn in school or college or something like that. And so this is something that you might be dealing with, Aquarius. It could be you doing it, Aquarius. Or it could be someone doing it to you. So be aware of that. It's probably going to be a friend, or it would be you doing it to a friend. Be aware of that. And just, curb that tendency. There's no need for that. But it could just be a time for a lot of brotherly love. Like, you could make a lot of friends that day. A lot of friends on this. For some reason, I'm thinking Aquarius is going to make a whole bunch of Facebook friends or something on the 17th. Good luck, Aquarius, with that. I see good things coming your way, dude. I really do. With friendships and groups and organizations. And if you join a club, organization, or group or something like that, I think you're going to be very successful in it. Just saying. Okay, Pisces. We're finally at our Pisces. And you know where that is happening for you? In your 10th house of career. The full moon is in your 10th house. That means you're going to seem probably very emotional about something. Let's hope it's something good. I mean, it is Sagittarius. Could have something to do with travel. But I'm hoping it's going to be a full moon in a good way. And it's going to be your career and your image and what people see you for and know you for. And it could even be your boss. Maybe your boss might be in a, an emotional state. But let's hope it's positive and not negative, and no one comes off at you in a wrong way. But I'm thinking that, this could affect your home life as well. So be aware of that, or your home and family. For some reason, I got that message to tell you that it could affect your home. I don't know why. Just be aware of that. But really, I think it's really affecting your career. This is all about your actual image, career, what you're doing out in public, your social status, your ambition, that type of thing. The moon's going to be full there, so it's illuminating that. It might be illuminating your lack of ambition. It might be illuminating your lack of status. Or it could be some friction with that. Don't forget, Saggy is square Pisces, and so this could be part of the issue. Okay, you might have this full moon epiphany and look back on things and get emotional and think, what have I done with my career? I'm not where I want to be in my career. And that could be an issue. Or it could be that you actually are receiving some applause and some attainment in your career that day. It is full. And so, I mean, even though it's square Pisces, it could, squares mean action. There could be some activity toward you getting some recognition, some public applause, some acclaim, something like that, I think, is happening for Pisces on the 17th of June. Okay, Pisces, well, this has been my take on that full moon for you, and my little mid-month mini reading, for you until I get to my June or July readings. But I think, whatever's going on, I think you should be fine, Pisces. Let's just hope over the next 2 weeks after, because basically all the things I'm telling all of you signs, it's not just affecting the 17th. It's going to affect the next 2 weeks until we get to the next new moon. And so I want you to take all the words that I'm saying and look at it in that way. Like, okay, she said this might be this emphasis, but it's not just that day. I think it's going to be the overall, flavoring for the next 2 weeks. So please be aware that this is my take for the signs, all 12 zodiac signs, for the next 2 weeks, basically. Okay? Starting with that full moon that occurs on the 17th. All right, you guys. Well, this has been Adrienne Obi, Capricorn Tigress of Astrology A Look Inside. Please like, share, and subscribe our YouTube videos. Share them freely. Share them with the world. Come and hang out with me more often. Come and comment on my different hair colors. This is one of those things that I love to do. So let's see. We have astrologyalookinside.com. Please, go by and subscribe to her blog. And we also have facebook.com/astrologyalookinside. Please like us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube here at Astrology A Look Inside. You can find us on, Instagram at Astrology A Look Inside. And you can also find our group on Facebook where I give free mini readings every Wednesday and Friday, Saturday night. But you got to be on the list at facebook.com/groups/Astrology A Look Inside. And next, please become a Patreon. I swear I got my Patreon account back up running perfectly. And you can join me at Patreon at patreon.com/Capricorntigress. Well, this has been my reading. And I guess if I don't make another reading or message between now and then, happy 4th of July to everyone. Okay, just in case, I thought I'd get that in there. Okay, I'm starting my party early. Okay, everyone, much love and light to you all. Bye.